They are not the same. I agree with that. I'm only saying to you that I've sat across the table from Arab men, Indian men, Asian men, and when I talk to other men who are fathers, when I talk to other men who are husbands, I talk to other men who are going out and breaking their back every day to provide for their families. There are cultural differences, love, 100%. The food we eat, maybe some of the phrases we say, but the mindset, the concepts, the idea, the foundation that drives us as men, it's not as different as you think. And to try to pretend like the 90% of that core, that fundamental driver, isn't transferable because there's a 10% difference from culture to culture to culture amongst men, I just don't agree with that. It's been my experience in general that women believe that the world is much more nuanced than it is. And men, we are like, hey, 80% of this, 90% of that. We're always dealing in percentages, and women are always talking about the anecdotal, the one-off, the marginal, the special case scenario. So I think it's just kind of the way you ladies are made, which is another generalization, which I know you ladies don't love, but you're made to see the nuance. And it's actually a beautiful thing. I don't want you to be a man, right? Because if I see the 90% and you see the 10% together, we see 100%. We were meant to be in supplement to one another so we could see 360 degrees. The issue ladies have is a lot of you have been pushed out of place with men. And so because of that, you try to say, well, no, what I'm saying is right and what you're saying is wrong, instead of you completing as a connector, help me completing the perspective like the Bible says you're supposed to do. A lot of you ladies are vying for a different position than where you're supposed to be in a natural order, and we end up arguing with each other instead of you just revealing something I miss. But that's how I see it.
All right. Let me go ahead and get Charles in there. Charles, you said you wanted to bring up some points to address.
I also had a question, right? We're having the conversation based on marriage. I know M. White agrees with me. That's my guy. Um, Marriage is a beautiful experience. Divorce is the ugly experience. It's kind of like saying that life is a beautiful experience, but death is the ugly experience. However, the beauty of life is worth the death, right? That's my subjective opinion of it. However, that said, I can see why men are apprehensive at this point about getting married, because a divorce is a symbolic death. That man has to continue living and experiencing whatever he experiences after that. So my question would be, and I want to hear Darwin's and M. White's and Wisdom's perspective on this as men. What do you think could be done to address the way divorce destroys men that would actually make men okay with getting back into marriage? And I ask that because I know statistically that married men live longer, right? They go to their wives are more likely to make them go to the doctors. They get to be, in the house with their kids. So there are benefits to marriage. I just think men are smart enough to say, well, I don't know if what I'm going to experience in divorce is worth the marriage.
So this is kind of esoteric answer, because the thing that I think that could be done would be not get the divorce. And the only way that could be done is to be able, so I can see the world through a specific lens. And I kind of box things as red flags, medium, it's a lot of stuff. And I'll be like, oh no, that's going to be a problem eventually. Even if it's not that big of a deal now, I see how big of a problem that's going to be in the future. So I'll avoid that. I think a lot of people might ignore those things and allow themselves to fall head over heels for somebody that's showing you a sign that, hey, this might not be permanent based off the way that their mind functions. Like I said before, I never fired nobody off of what they did, only the way their brain functioned and they formulated the thought process. So some of the times when we dating women, the thought process, even if it's not offensive to you or harmful to you in the moment, will pan out in the future to break your heart, because it's going to lead you to a path where you two are going to diverge points. I don't think you can remove the hurt if you actually love somebody and you built a family of divorce. And I've never felt that pain, so I don't know how bad it is. But by my assumption, it seems to be like so tumultuous that it scars you permanently, and people move through life with that scar in a way that's very evident and visible, almost so that I damn near want to turn down my happiness because I feel I'm offending people sometimes when I bump into that scar. So I don't have a good solution on healing that because I never experienced it outside of, hey, let's do a pound of prevention, an ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure in that case, if that makes sense.
What I would say is, if you want marriage to be something men are more compelled to go after at a larger number than what it is already, I would say the divorce settlements, make those equal no matter what. Whenever you're dividing assets or anything like that, automatic 50-50 splits. Not no 70-20. I mean 80-20, no 70-30, nothing like that. The custody, joint custody, automatic. Not no, oh, I'm gonna have a higher percentage than you, or you gotta go fight me in court, or we gotta go to court to figure this out. No. In the event of divorce, automatic joint custody. Alimony reform, take that shit out or limit it. Short term. Make it case specific for whatever spouse. They clearly don't have any way to go and earn any money. And if they are earning money, then it should be frequent checkups to see if they are earning the lifestyle to be able to take care of themselves, and then they should be taken off of it. The false allegation, the penalty for it. A lot of guys are getting divorced and they're getting accused of some shit that they didn't even do. So there needs to be some, once you find out that he didn't do it, the person who made this accusation don't just get to fucking walk off. There need to be some consequences, some fines, some jail time.
You mean like cheating, or you mean like
no, oh, he touched my kids, or he beat me, or he did
you talking criminal.
Yeah, like that's and then when you find out that it wasn't, no, there need to be some consequences and penalties for that.
There are consequences and penalties for that.
No,
they don't get enforced.
No.
They don't. I was a police
cannot
officer.
lie under oath. That is illegal.
False claims for abuse, harassment, misconduct, stuff like that. No jail time, no fines, none of that.
It goes unreported more often than it's falsely accused.
No.
Well, the damage.
According to the NIV.
What I was going to say, I was a police officer for 17 years, right? And I didn't deal with divorce proceedings, but I can tell you, people file false police reports and make false statements all the time. And even though the law's on the book, it's not anything that's actually carried out. And the detriment that is caused to the person that's lied upon, they could never
image,
right? They could never be repaid for what it is that they lost, because the true currency of the universe of our lives is time, right? So once that time is lost, there's no amount of money or anything that person, man, in this particular example, is going to get.
Did that dude, the dude that was Kane the Conqueror, what was his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Did that woman get thrown in jail? Is she in jail right now?
No, she didn't get nothing.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, you got to pay attention.
It's irrelevant. The point is the point you were making, Ms. Kia, is that a lot of abuse goes unreported as a response to men saying that, false accusation bears no consequence for women. And that
was not my point at all.
Oh.
Okay. Well, then what did you mean when you said it goes unreported? Will you clarify for me?
I was saying that it goes